How you doing? My name is Jareen Gunter and I'm the author of The Man Book. So today we're going to talk about accountability, which is the first chapter of my book. And the reason it's the first chapter is because when we talk about accountability, before you do anything else, you got to be accountable for your actions. Accountability means letting your actions rise above your excuses. So since we're talking about accountability, let me give you a quick story about myself. So when I was in elementary school, there was this guy in my class, and I don't know if you guys remember, but when you were in elementary school, you were with your classmates, and your class was like your team. It was like your family. That was the people you always were with. So the other class was always like the rival. So you play dodgeball against other classrooms, but your classroom always stuck together. So one day, my mom took me to the dentist, so I missed school that day. I come back to school, when I walk into class, everybody's crying and I don't know what's going on. So we ended up playing dodgeball against another class, and we had this one kid, was the smartest kid in the class, and his name was actually Lim Chu, and I don't know why I remember that, but I still remember this guy's name. So he was real smart, he helped everybody with their homework, he was just a great kid. And while they were playing, but Lim was a lot smaller than everybody else. One of the bullies in the other class grabbed the dodgeball and threw it at Lim Chu's head, hit him right in the head, made Lim pass out. Lim got rushed to the hospital. When I come to the class, everybody in the class is crying and they're sad about what happened to Lim. So I walk in the class, I'm like, what's going on? They tell me, and I'm distraught too. So after school, I'm like, I'm gonna get this guy. There's no way I'm not gonna get this guy. So when I go to, after school, the guy walks in the class and I run up to him, I said, this is for Lim, and I punch him in the face, right? Not the guy we're fighting, and I whooped him. So after I beat him up, of course they send me to the principal's office. So I'm in the principal's office and my mom walks in. My mom gave me one rule. She told me never to fight, but she said the only way you can ever fight is if somebody spits on you. So what do you think I did? As soon as my mom comes in, I'm like, Mom, he spit on me. I had to fight him, So was I being accountable for my actions? And actually to this day, I've never told my mom the truth about Lim Chu. So she always thinks that I spit on somebody, even though I know she doesn't really believe me. But I've never told her the truth. So now I have to be accountable to my mom. So Mom, I did it for no reason. Or actually it was for a reason, but it was for my personal reason. It wasn't because he spit on me. Like I stated before, accountability means letting your actions rise above your excuses. And I know I wasn't doing that when it came to Lim. So to me, the best basketball player in the world is Steph Curry, right? And the reason why I'm bringing up Steph Curry is because I want to talk about how he's accountable for his actions. He's accountable for everything he does. So when Steph Curry was in high school, he won 3 conference titles. He was All-State MVP, All-Conference MVP, and his team MVP. But still, he got no looks from big colleges. So he was struggling with that. He didn't really know what to do. But in spite of that, there was a school that was in the neighborhood called Davidson. He ended up going to Davidson and doing some amazing things. He broke the single season NCAA three-point record with 162 threes in a season, which is still the record to this day. He broke a bunch of records at his school. Steph did amazing. So when he decided that he wanted to go to the NBA, people still didn't believe him. They still doubted him. So look at this tweet that SportsCenter put out when Steph decided he wanted to declare the NBA draft. They said, Steph Curry declared for NBA draft. This reporter says, he doesn't have the upside of Rubio, Jennings, Flynn, Mills, T are all more athletic. That's what they were saying about what people consider to be the best player in the NBA today. One of my favorite quotes is, what you are doing today, you are now becoming. Steph decided that he was going to work as hard as possible so that whatever he wants to do, he's going to become. So even though they said he was undersized, he had all these different issues, and they decided that he wasn't good enough to be an amazing NBA player, he said, I'm going to work hard enough and I'm going to show you that I'm going to become great. And what did Steph do? He became great.
Several years ago, I had the great honor of working the first ever Kobe Bryant Nike Skills Academy. Nike invited the top 20 high school shooting guards and the top 10 college shooting guards in the country to this camp with Kobe. And it's kind of funny now that I look back on it, how many of those players are now household names in the NBA. However, at that time, the least recognized player there was Steph Curry. But I knew immediately that he was the most impressive, and that thinking long term, he he was going to be a future NBA superstar. And here's how I knew that. It was all because of his work habits. Now, those skills academies, we would have 2 workouts a day for 3 straight days. 30 minutes before every single workout, most players were still in their flip-flops and had on their headphones, and Stephen Curry had already started doing some form shooting. He had already started taking game shots, game spots, and game speed. By the time the workout officially started, he had probably already made 100, 150 shots and was in a full sweat. When the workout actually started, he was meticulous with everything that he did. He made sure that he had perfect footwork. He made sure that he had perfect shooting form. If he did anything and it wasn't perfect, he did it over again. And he didn't need a coach to tell him, he just did it. And then probably the most impressive thing that he did was as soon as every workout was over, he would not leave the court until he swished 5 free throws in a row. Do you know how hard that is? But that's the level of excellence that he holds himself to. And the moral of that story is that success is not an accident. Success is actually a choice. And Stephen Curry is one of the best shooters on the planet today because he has made the choice to create great habits. And my question to you is, are the habits that you have today on par with the dreams that you have for tomorrow? That's something that you need to ask yourself every single day. Because whatever you do on a regular basis today will determine where you will be tomorrow.
Curry got the 3 off. Tie game! Steph Curry knocks it down.
When I played baseball in college, it didn't happen overnight. So one of the things was I had to work in the off season to become good during the season time. So it's just like you in school. If you're in high school, in elementary school, junior high school, whatever school you're in, even if you're in college, what happens is during the school year, your teacher tells you what to do. During the summer, you tell you what to do. So what are you going to do to make yourself better in the off season? Same thing with if you're at work. What are you going to do when you're at home trying to get better? If you're starting your own business, what are you going to do during your supposedly downtime? How are you going to get better? Steph decided he was going to do something to change everybody's perspective of him, and he did that. So in my book, I talk about 3 steps you have to do to be accountable for your actions. What to do before, what to do during, and what to do after to show that you're accountable for your actions. You're going to have to read the book to get more information. So thank you once again for watching me, Jareem Gunter, the author of The Man Book. If you have questions, please leave them below. If you have comments, do the same thing. And if you want to know more about my book, the website's next.